Sanctuary cities fight in court. We're breaking down the arguments as city leaders from Austin take their stand.
The highest court will hear arguments over President Trump's travel ban. In the meantime, portions of it will go into effect.
And if your child uses Snapchat, there's something you need to know about the newest feature, Snap Maps. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Quita Culpepper.
And I'm Mike Rush. Terry Gruca has the week off. Tonight, large groups of protesters are gathering in San Antonio. Their mission, fight the state's new immigration law.
KVUE's Ashley Godot has been in the hearing today, and she joins us now live from San Antonio. Ashley?
Well, Quita and Mike, that hearing wrapped up just about 10 minutes ago. The judge said he did not say exactly when he was going to issue his review, but instead that he would be taking some time to review all of the briefs and the evidence that was presented today. Now, before the hearing started, a large crowd gathered outside the courthouse to protest SB 4. Leaders from various organizations, the Catholic Archbishop of San Antonio, and Austin City Council members Greg Casar and Mayor Steve Adler were among the speakers.
This Senate Bill 4 has never really been about safety, and it's really good to get out of a political forum like the legislature and to be in a forum where facts and law are going to control.
When the court proceedings started, a counter-protester arrived here to support SB 4. He clashed with the crowd and was eventually removed by police. Meanwhile, in the courthouse, attorneys for all of the cities and organizations suing the state took turns telling Judge Orlando Garcia why they think SB 4 is unconstitutional. They noted Congress gave enforcement of immigration laws solely to federal officers, not local law enforcement. They believe it requires officers to violate the Fourth Amendment, holding someone on an ICE detainer without probable cause. They also see a problem with the section of the law that prohibits elected officials and officers from endorsing policies that contradict SB 4. Those officials could face removal from office or jail time. The attorneys say this is a violation of their First Amendment right of free speech. They also say prohibiting police and sheriff's departments from creating policies about immigration enforcement will lead to officers enforcing law at their own discretion with no oversight. Now, attorneys for the state and federal government argued SB 4 was passed in response to law enforcement leaders making policies about immigration. They added it ensures all law enforcement agencies in Texas enforce detainers the same way, and that officers are not required to ask anyone about their status, and if they do, they don't have to do anything with that information if they don't want to. Federal authorities said SB 4 doesn't violate federal law and added it doesn't call on officers to act as immigration agents. Now, the judge also heard from about 5 witnesses from the plaintiffs. That's all the cities and counties in this case. The state didn't call any witnesses. Again, the judge said he is going to review all of the information that was submitted today and will make a decision soon. Reporting live from San Antonio, Ashley Godot, KVUE News.
Ashley, thank you. Some major announcements from the Supreme Court in key cases. First, the High Court has agreed to hear the case about the president's controversial travel ban in the fall. The decision allows the ban to partially go into effect this week. The ban has sparked protests since it was rolled out as one of the first major actions of the Trump administration in February.
This is racist from the president.
The justices also announcing they will hear a case pitting religious freedom against same-sex marriage, where a baker refused to make a cake for a gay couple who were getting married. There's also been speculation that Justice Anthony Kennedy would use the court's last day to declare his retirement, but no announcement was made today.
Republicans are trying to rally support for their measure to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. President Trump says he is cautiously optimistic the Senate will pass the bill this week before congressional recess. Republicans can only afford to lose 2 votes, but already 5 have said they are not on board, and at least 5 others have concerns. Conservatives say the bill doesn't go far enough to repeal Obamacare, and moderates say the bill goes too far.
The Obamacare subsidies in this bill are actually greater under the Republican bill than they are under the current Obamacare law. That is not anywhere close to repeal.
I'm also very concerned about the Medicaid cuts and what it means to our most vulnerable citizens.
The Congressional Budget Office released its analysis on the proposed bill. The CBO believes 22 million more Americans would be uninsured by 2026 under the Senate health bill.
Hit and miss showers back in the forecast for this evening. It's been mainly on the miss side if you're here in the Austin metro. Temperatures sitting at 90 degrees right now in Austin, 84 in Fredericksburg, and 90 in Georgetown. Here's a look at the radar from the last 3 hours. You can just see how pop-up this activity has been. Very disorganized. There's one heftier shower about to pass over Highway 77 between Giddings and LaGrange right now. We're going to keep a 40% chance of evening showers up to about midnight. Additional scattered showers for tomorrow, and then getting into a drier and warmer weather pattern by midweek. The warmer part, that's the kind of disappointing part of the forecast. I'll show you how high temperatures get by the end of the work week coming up.
Thanks, Albert. The man believed to have been behind a horrific bus crash that killed 13 people in Uvalde County back in March could soon be in jail. A grand jury met today and heard multiple cases against Jack Dylan Young. James Keith is in Hondo at the district attorney's office with what the DA is saying tonight.
Jen Barrett is preparing to sell her parents' New Braunfels home, where countless memories were made. In March, Jen's dad, Murray, was driving a church bus in Uvalde County when it was hit head-on by a pickup driven by Jack Young. It's believed Young was under medication and possibly texting while driving. 13 people died. Jen's mom, who wasn't a part of the crash, died days after her husband's funeral from a blood clot.
As there's been less and less to do, there's been more time to think and more time to feel. And I have found it to be much harder because now it's coming to the realization of like, oh, my parents really aren't there.
Jen finds comfort writing.
Dear Jack, we've never met, but our lives collided on March 29th.
Her latest blog is addressed to Jack Young.
I know that Jack is definitely going through some difficult times.
Jen wants Jack to know she forgives him.
The only freedom any of us will ever find is in forgiving Jack and then recognizing that we can do that because we ourselves have been forgiven.
Forgiven, she says, by Jesus Christ, a message her parents wanted the world to hear. Jen believes now more than ever.
As long as we hold that unforgiveness and bitterness inside of us, we become prisoners in ourselves, and we are never free to move past that moment of pain or suffering.
And that was James Keith reporting. The district attorney says his office is open to a plea deal, but it would require a lengthy prison sentence.
New at 5, Texas State Police looking for a man who scared a class full of students. Here's a picture of him. The university police say he walked into a classroom on Friday and went on a rant about September 11th, the day of the terrorist attacks. Police say the man then wanted to talk to the highest authority and mention the university president. Witnesses told police he stood up and reached into his backpack, which caused everybody to run out of the room in fear. The man left before police arrived. Call Texas State Police if you have any information about this case. SWAT teams surrounded a home in Hutto this morning. It's all part of an investigation into illegal gambling. APD was serving a warrant to somebody in the home on Augusta Bend Drive near Gaddis School Road. No information has been released on any arrests.
Social media helped police find a man wanted for aggravated kidnapping. Derek Roseland was wanted by Austin police on that charge. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office said they arrested him at the AT&T Center in San Antonio after receiving a tip. APD spotted a post on his friend's social media account that said they were at an Iron Maiden concert. It even showed their exact seats. Police went there and arrested Roseland without problems. According to an arrest affidavit, in June, police were trying to apprehend him when he ditched a stolen car and forced another person to drive him to Jack in the Box. The victim told police Roseland yelled that he had a gun. His bond is set at $150,000.